to introduce themselves because I would not do it justice the way you would. So everybody, you guys know how we do it here. Clap for Olive. Yay! Welcome, Olivenkirote, crypto coach, businesswoman, entrepreneur, recipient of the YouTube Black Fund 2023. Olive, tell us about yourself.
Firstly, because I'm a good student of over 25, there's one thing you've been talking a lot, and introduce yourself with what you are and not what you do. So, girl, I've been listening. Yeah, so what I am, Olive is, I want to say, very hardworking, to be honest. I actually love fun. I've recently realized I like fun. I think I've just been drowning myself in work for a long time, but I like fun. Olive is determined. Olive is focused. Like, guys, are you seeing the vision boards behind there?
I move, Olive. I want to see the vision boards. Like, we don't need to see the detail, but this is amazing that you still find the time to be able to put in literal images of what it is that you want. I encourage everybody, have a vision board. Now, you see, what I have is strategy. So I have PowerPoint presentations. So seeing that, that's good. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's me. Basically, in a nutshell, I love working out. Yeah, I don't say what I do, but like, yeah, that's who I am. And I think I'm quite talkative and friendly and social at the same time.
I keep saying anybody who can run a YouTube channel on their own, like just be there on their own, being talkative is a huge plus, because we need you to keep us engaged from the beginning to the end with your beautiful storytelling, because I think you're a beautiful storyteller. So talkative is a beautiful thing, I have to say. You said you're becoming. What are you becoming?
Well, I honestly don't have a word, but I want to just say I want to become great to my definitions of success. To me, what success is to me, what greatness is to me. So I'm becoming that, and I'm becoming of that every other day with all the little things I do in my life. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you've told us who you are. So now tell us what you do. Because my movers are very discerning. They're like, you're here, you want to just support Alibaba, who is Olive, so that we can trust what it is that she's saying.
Okay, so I can tell you guys about myself. So what I do is essentially I teach people. So I have a YouTube channel called ONR, but you can also search Olivenkirote on YouTube. And I honestly just teach people. Like, this YouTube channel was born at a point in life where I was desperate to learn how to start a business. And I wanted to start a business. I went to YouTube because I was looking for people to help me start a business. And I was like, okay, fine. We're not many. I might as well teach people the things I learn as I start my own business. So that's how my YouTube channel eventually became to be. So what do? I teach people, guys. I teach people what I've learned and what has worked for me. So if I did crypto and it worked for me and I've made good money from it, I will teach you that. If I have imported from Alibaba, my business is doing well because of it, I will teach you that. So for me right now, I think I'm just teaching people based on the things that have actually worked for me and have elevated my life in one way or another, either in making money or in growing your money. So yeah, that's what I teach. Yes.
Okay. You're an education. You're a digital educationalist. So you teach, sort of like myself, except you have the skills yourself. So you teach on YouTube. Any other platforms that you're on?
No, I'm actually just mostly active on YouTube, and then Instagram is more for guys who just want a personal relationship with me or want to DM me about a few things. We talk on Instagram, but I'm mostly active on YouTube, yeah, and our website.
And your website. I wanted you to mention that. Before we continue, I want to remind movers today, Olive is going to give us a snippet into secrets of importing from Alibaba. And I say a snippet because she has a class. Nowadays, guys, we don't give out what it is that we have learned and studied for years for free. She has a class. She's only charging you $99 for a 3-day course. 28th of November, 29th of November. Take a break and then come back on the 2nd of December. Olive, that's correct?
28th, 30th, and 2nd.
Or 28th, 30th, and 2nd. So 3
Yeah.
classes whereby I had shared the curriculum earlier, whereby
Yeah.
you learn properly, in depth, understand how it is you'll be able to import goods from China, specifically through Alibaba. Olive, do you
Yeah.
import goods from China?
Yes. And like I told you, when I honestly just teach what I've gone through and what I've experienced. So I own a farm. I actually have a farm, yes, also known as Yummy Rabbits Kenya. So we are a rabbit company. And when I was starting this business, I quickly learned that when I was scaling, I needed a particular type of, let's say, set of cages, a particular set of machines. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then I quickly learned, okay, fine, these things are all in China. I need to find a way to import them. And thanks to that experience, importing thousands worth of goods for the farm, I quickly learned this, like the science behind it. And started now importing for my family because my dad also has a farm, and then started importing for friends. And then, it just became a thing. Yeah. So then I was like, okay, fine. I went back to my YouTube channel. Actually, let me tell you, Ivy, where it started. You know what? I've skipped too far. I've skipped too far. It started in 2020 when we were during COVID times, and something in me told me that I can sell bags. I don't know what told me I can sell bags, but something told me I can sell bags.
Right
And I was
there,
like, okay, fine.
you guys, hands up. If you ever sat yourself and thought, I can sell bags, I can go to China, get bags, sell them. I can sell some shoes. I can sell some
Yeah.
watches. Guys, hands up and tell me what it is that you wanted to import from China, and tell me whether you're successful or not. Olive, you thought, I can import bags. How did it go from there?
Yeah, actually, what happened is I was still doing content creation on YouTube, but it was hard. It was hard. It wasn't making me good money to survive. So I was like, let me just keep going through with YouTube, but I need to find something to make me money to survive. I was still doing my farm, Yummy Rabbits, but it was very small scale. Like I had less than 10 rabbits. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna buy bags. Guys, I even have that page on Instagram. It's a failed business, but you can see where we started. It's called Chesoroli Premium Bags, and it's still live on Instagram. It's still
Yeah,
live. Oh my God.
yeah.
So I imported these bags. I went through all the mistakes without doing market research, just buying. I got them and I decided to sell them. Well, let's say I sold them very hard, but I still sold them. But I had learned the experience. And because I realized this is not the business for me, but I had this set of information, I went to YouTube, back to my channel, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to share my failure. I'm going to share how I tried to start this business and it failed. So I shared the whole process, how I imported bags from China. And let me tell you, Ivy, I think from 2020 to 2022, I think I've conversed with more than 500 people from that video. Because every time someone watches that video, they're just in my email. Hi, Olive, I've seen that video. What did you do when this happened? What did you do when this happened? Everyone was asking for a class, but I didn't feel confident because I had only imported once. So how do I teach you with only like experience of just one item? So I decided, okay, you know what? I'll just talk to people personally, 2021,
Yeah.
2022. And then this year, for my farm, I quickly realized I needed now to import. And now this one, it was serious. So I went back and did a very huge import, and it was very successful. And now from there is when I saw, okay, fine, Olive, I think I have experience. I feel I can import for people, import it for my dad. I feel I can import for friends. And then now that's how now with all the questions I've been getting from 2020, because our video actually did so well, I think it's my second most viewed channel video on my channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did tell me there's a demand here. People actually want to learn this.
Yeah.
And let me just share what I have. 2 years later, but with the right knowledge and experience.
Well, I love that. I love that. So, before we move on, someone is
Yeah.
asking, what is your YouTube channel? So it's ONR. O stands for Olive, and Nkirote are rebranded Africa. So this is ONR Africa. Please find her on YouTube. Subscribe to her channel. She is a brilliant, brilliant coach. I remember even when you bought a piece of land from Goshen. Remember I told us, like, my God, you broke it down so beautifully. I'm like, my goodness. So I love that. We are basically doing the same thing. We're learning and taking people
Yeah.
with us. Beautiful. This
We
was on
are.
Monday. Second thing, Jules is here. Hi, Jules. What's up? Jules is saying she had tried to import wigs from China. People are saying jewelry, shoes, baby clothes, perfumes,
Yeah.
makeup, lipsticks, so many things. Even bras. I have a friend who buys and sells bras, and she buys straight from China. So, Olive, what is this China trend? Are we too late? And why do people think of China first when it comes to importing goods? Why did you think China first when it came to your farm? Why not States? Why did you think of
Okay.
China? Mm.
I honestly believe it's because they are the largest manufacturing hub in the world right now. And I mean, if you've read the book Shoe Dog by Nike, you will see how the founder of Nike, Phil Knight, literally years, I don't know, 1980, was going to China and Japan just to start his shoe company. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it goes to show that these guys do have this manufacturing thing figured out.
yeah,
And every part of China, different districts do different items, and they honestly just have mastered it. And I saw one of the comments actually, Ivy was saying, "Why are you not promoting local trade? And why are you not, why are you importing all these things from China?"
we
Let me
have to
tell you
address.
guys.
We have to address that question because I'm like, okay, but please address. Olive, why
Let
aren't you
yeah,
promoting local trade?
let me actually answer that, and I'm going to answer it from a very honest perspective.
Yeah.
Um, First thing is, when you're starting a business, you ask yourself what you need for the business to survive, right?
Mm,
And then you decide the route to go. As a business owner, actually, most of us, when we started our businesses, we were trying to survive. We were trying to make money to survive. So when you're starting your business, you're looking at, how do I find items at the best price possible for me to actually sell and make a living, not just for me, but for my family? And unfortunately or fortunately enough, I do believe in local trade. And I do want to say that there are some industries that local trade is spot on. And I can give an example with fashion. I mean, clothes and all these garments, I mean, you can easily find them in the country. You can even say food, like we sell meat, you don't have to really import meat or grains. But like there's some industries where, let's just be honest, if I'm to do local trade, I either have so much money or I have a very good connection to a very good company that's doing exactly what I want. And it's sort of rare. And I usually tell someone, it's not like we don't promote local trade. I promote local trade in the ways I see fit. But as a business owner, my rule is to first survive. Once I've survived, Ivy, once I am making good money, please come and tell me all the ways I will promote local trade, and I will. And that's actually a goal in my vision board, that eventually I will grow my business past survival. I will grow my business past breaking even, such that I honestly don't even need to import these things. I can actually set up warehouses, I can set up plants, I can set up education centers and help people do these things by themselves. But for now, guys, for now, yo, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't make
no,
sense as a small
I
business
agree. I just
owner.
that a small or medium-sized enterprise or business in Kenya is where you need to go and attack and tell people, buy local, buy local. We've had you, and we are considering it. But as you've said, you have to start lean. If you don't have the capital, some people probably you have the capital and you can afford to do local, but until that regulations, policies, governance, everything allows us to be able to afford local, we move to the greatest trading hub in the world. Our SGR is not local. Half our staff is not local. So if I always say emulate people who are doing what it is that you want to do. If everybody is going to China, ask yourself, question why, and then make that decision for yourself rather than say, you guys are not promoting local, let's do local trade. My friend, I need to eat. Huh? I don't know if people saw recently on the Business Daily, one of the key things for people in Nairobi is to put food on the table. Am I putting food on the table, or am I thinking, how is this food promoting local business? My family is not eating. So there's a lot of things that we also really have to consider. Only going back to China, again, there's this myth, I don't know if it's a fact or a myth, there's this myth that importing goods from China means you're bringing in extremely low quality, especially for the African market. it's like they have a bit of bias against Africa. Someone was telling me recently that in China itself, there are various markets. There's the market where Olive will be taken to because she's from Kenya, and there's the market where Ivy will be taken to because she's from States. True or false? Tell me more. And how do we work around it?
True. Because when you're getting stuff from China, I quickly learned there is original, there's first copy, there's second copy, and then there's just the ultimate fake. You can tell the words are facing the other direction. And this is something I've also I've quickly learned, even when I'm trying to understand the Alibaba platform. You will notice that the suppliers that do actually put there that we supply mostly to African markets. You see others that say we supply to European markets. And yes, it is a bias that's been created, unfortunately, by the clients in the African countries. And I can give you an example with one of my uncles who has a phone accessory shop, right? Earphones, chargers, and cables. He told me when he started this business, he did bring the original products. But every time someone would come and he would tell them the price, it would be an issue. Why are you so expensive? Why are you so expensive? So he started going down based on, okay, fine, let me bring the first copy. So he realized when he brought the first copy generation of chargers and earphones, complaints were less of the price. And when he brought the second copy, everyone is happy. It's like, oh, ebu go to anakwanga na vitu ziko na bei poa. So, I mean, if we are accepting that price is really such a big thing in our minds, what will I do as a seller? I will just satisfy your demand. You guys really like the cheap things. You guys really value affordability. So I will not kill myself as a business owner. I will just adapt to what the clientele wants. So back to your question, China has a lot of things. And I usually tell people, even when you're buying in Amazon, sis, half of those things are from China. And I have a whole place in my presentation in the class where I just show you how they do it, like how the manufacturer does this, applies to Walmart, Target, rebrand the name, and just hike the price as soon as it lands in the European and American market. So if you, as a seller, to decide, one, which quality do I want? Two, how do I find that quality? Because I'm not going to China physically, but because of the knowledge and the know-how to, decipher these suppliers on Alibaba, I know this one is telling me the thing is going to Amazon. So I'm going to bring those things to my African country. So I think I've answered the question, basically. Yeah.
It made me realize, because I remember when I was in university, that's when you lose a charger for your phone, you go to town and you get one for 200 bob, and you know what you're buying. You're buying the price, but you're not buying the quality. And in a few months, that thing is going to be kaput. So it's also to encourage businesses to be sure what it is that you want to associate yourself with. So you don't necessarily, going to China does not equate buying low quality.
Exactly.
Properly, you'll be able to find the quality that you want. I don't know if Paulina is in this call, but please make sure you can, guys, if you go to my bio, I have a link there that can allow you to register for the class that Olive is giving. We're only going to be here for an hour, and she has a class that is going to last 3 days to tell you the nitty of importing goods from China. Olive, my next questions are, so if Paulina is here, please put it here so that I can pin it in the chat so that people can go there and take a look, because I don't want people to leave the live and go there and see that. There's something that you mentioned. There are two things you mentioned. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home to go to China to do this, because I know there was a time, there was a trend, everybody was going to China. And then the stories that were coming back, that was the only black person there. They've never seen a tall black person. They were touching my da, da, da. And the second thing is, you said, I can look at Alibaba and know this supplier is doing this, this supplier is doing this. So question one, do I have to go to China? Question two, how do I pick and choose a good supplier? How do I build a relationship with this person? How do I know they're not scamming me? What kind of scams are there? There are so many questions. Please help me understand, Olive. Help me understand.
Well, I have literally 50 slides on how to get the best supplier, Ivy. 50 slides. That's how much I went in depth, because first of all, let's start with the 3 different types of suppliers on Alibaba, and that's something I usually tell people. There is the guy who is a manufacturer who has a whole plant. There is a trading company on Alibaba. This is the person who goes and buys stuff from the manufacturer and then sells them as a trading company. And most trading companies are not manufacturers. Let me give you guys a tip, actually. For example, Ivy wants to buy a suitcase. So you
Yeah.
can find the manufacturer for suitcases where they do PVC, they do leather, they do literally the whole range of suitcases, and you get at the best price and obviously in larger quantities. Then you can find a trading company on Alibaba who is now going to sell travel stuff, not now just suitcases. He will sell you a suitcase, a travel pouch, a travel handbag. You know, he is going to frame himself as a travel and like travel items that you need, not like a manufacturer. And then now you get the wholesaler who will just negotiate the best prices out of all of them and sell everything. So I think what I want to show people in my masterclass, one of the key things is those nitty gritties, because most people have learned with, as I interact with people, they go to AliExpress or go to Alibaba and just search based on price. And I'm like, that's the biggest mistake. Like you need to search based on quality, based on supplier, because if you're really trying to start a business, you need to understand, are they going to be able to customize these goods and put like the ONR logo or the Just Ivy Africa logo?
But
Are they going to be able
suppliers, do they have like stars? Do you rate them? How do I tell that this supplier will give me good quality over someone else?
Yes, they do have ratings as well, product certifications, trade assurance. So, you know, all those two nitty-gritty that you're actually talking about, we delve into them because a supplier has so many things they need to give Alibaba for them to even be on Alibaba, right?
Okay.
Gold verified suppliers. It's a whole world, Ivy. It's a whole world. And I'm even like, can you join us, Ivy? Can you please join us? I'd just like you to learn because I honestly feel like you could start your own
I'm working,
match
of
or
course, I'm
team.
getting the class. Oliver, I thought you were giving me a session. Like, are you kidding? We're going to have this conversation after. I knew you were going to give me this class to join. What are you saying? So that we can market the next session. Yes, I'm joining. Yes, I'm joining.
Please,
Okay,
please
I'll pay
do.
Olive because I have to support you, the creator. But you give me a discount. To Olive, watch Azako. So you've told me what it is that we need to look at when it comes to my suppliers.
Yeah.
So you're confirming that indeed, no, I don't have to go to China. If I'm going to China, maybe I just
You
want to go. I
don't.
have to go.
Let me tell you, I've done so much research to the point, you know, people don't know in China there are different districts for different products. Like for my farm equipment, there's a district for agriculture, there's a district for fashion, there's a district for machinery.
When
And
you
now
say
once you learn these
reminds me
things,
so
even
much
when you're
of,
starting,
yeah.
what? Sorry.
Babe, what's that? What's that movie that has District 12, District 13? What's that movie? Hunger Games.
I
I'm
don't
like, I'm
know.
Hunger Games. Agricultural district, fashion district. Oh, I didn't know that at all. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will hear most people who go to China will do this research prior so that when they land there, they try find their district. But now that's the thing when you're online, guys, all these things are just, you can easily just find. And even when I'm looking for a supplier and I want to know if you're a legit supplier, based on maybe what you're selling, as soon as I know I want shoes, I know the district that is for shoes. I know the district that's for like farm machinery. Like at this rate, I can tell you the whole China and just tell you land here, go here, but I've not actually physically gone. I've just done that research while I'm at home. And it's as easy as being able to identify your suppliers, being able to know what you really want to sell, because also another issue I'm having with many people, they really want to start the business, but they don't have an idea of what to sell. And I tell you, just do two things, guys. One, either you look at what is in demand, or two, you do product research or market research based on the passion or the thing you want to like to sell, you know. And once you just start this journey, guys, Aki, me, I'm just like, please, Ivy, anyway, you'll join this class, and I promise you, Ivy, you're going to start a business. You're going to start a
Oh,
business. I
well,
promise.
correction. I already have a business. I always like to encourage
Oh,
content to know that they are
yeah.
business people. So I am already a businesswoman, but now I can have a secondary source of income from doing this. And I like that you've mentioned that because I'm a thinker. I'm not a doer. I think you're a doer. The way you said, I do my research, I don't think it took you a short amount of time. Maybe tell us, I've done my research, I've read, I've done my homework, so I understand. So importing from China, other than not understanding the products that you want to bring in, tell me about the characteristic of a person who can thrive in this business. What kind of personality do you need to have? Because you're dealing with, are you dealing with language barrier? Are you dealing with just the uncertainty because you've not seen it with your eyes? What kind of person would thrive importing goods from China?
That's a really good question.
Mm,
Okay, there's no language barrier because Alibaba is very global. So all the speakers, or rather all the customer service recipients you're dealing with know English. So
yeah,
that is
yeah.
not going to be an issue. I think for you to actually be good in this business, I honestly think you need the heart and the hustle because you're ideally bringing in products that you need to sell. And
Ooh,
one of the things, yeah, you need to have the heart and
heart
hustle to sell.
and hustle. Heart and
Yes,
hustle.
and
Ah,
hustle,
T-shirt.
exactly.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can actually share something with you because remember I told you I wanted to try sell bags? I realized as much as I had the hustle to because I did a whole week's website and I invested all this money, I didn't have the heart to sell bags. I just didn't even know what to tell Ivy like about this bag for her to see the need to buy it.
Mm.
But because I'm very passionate with the food industry and I'm in farming, I now can easily import my machinery and cages, and I now have the heart to reach out to a farmer who I know is going through the same things I'm going through. And I tell them, don't worry, I got you. Yummy Rabbits will partner with you. We're going to do for you the whole setup. We're going to set up for you your whole farm. And all we need to do is for you to just sell us your rabbits. And it's like an instant, oh my gosh, you understand my pain.
Listen to your strategy. It's beautiful because sitting
Yeah,
here that all you do is raise those rabbits and then sell them for meat. But now you have become a supplier. You've broadened that ecosystem, and now you supply other rabbit farms, eventually probably other farms with the equipment that you got from China. Guys, if you're not getting encouraged in terms of just thinking big and thinking broadly, you'll
yeah,
start by one thing for your business, but then you can end up having an entire rabbit empire. Ah,
yeah.
Olive. Olive, that's amazing. That's so amazing. And I guess the more you import, which even takes me to my next question. You said when it was time for the bags, you invest a lot of money. Is this something that is capital intensive, or is the capital required dependent on the industry that you want to tap into? And two, let's talk about things like minimum order quantities and that type of thing. Actually, that also goes back to the question for whether starting off like this is capital intensive, or is it that I have 10,000 shillings, I can go to Alibaba and import straws, curly straws. I have a market, like whether it's a juice bar or something, and then go sell. Tell me about the capital required for something like this.
First of all, I like the fact that you said it's based on the industry that you
Yeah,
are in.
yeah,
That is very key because, I mean, there are some goods that the cost of just that one item is a lot as compared
yeah.
to maybe the cost of a straw. However, I don't want to limit the amount of money you can start with. But like when I started with my bags, I bought literally just, I think, 10 or 15 bags and I spent around 15,000, if I'm not wrong. I can't remember clearly, but it was about that amount. And I remember the supplier I found, his minimum order quantity was like 50 or something. And I was just like, no, there's no way I can hack 50. Let's just be honest here. I don't want dead stock. So I remember I sent him an inquiry and I just told him about me. And I was just like, hi, my name is Olive. I'm a young, budding entrepreneur in Kenya. I know your minimum order quantity is 50. I really want to do this. Kindly, shipping for me 15. And if this goes well, I will be a return client. And he had nothing to say. He was just like, fine, get the 15 bags. Unfortunately, I didn't go back. But
You didn't have
you
that
see,
part, but you learned something else, and now that I know
yeah,
is that you're investing in what it is that you actually love. Yeah, cool.
exactly. Yeah.
So,
So
so you're
let me
able to negotiate again also. Even if you go to a site or to a particular seller and they tell you MOQ minimum order quantity is 100, negotiate. Ask, ask and see what it is that you
thank
can
you.
do. Mm,
Yeah, and I just tell them the truth, and most of them, I mean, it's a human being on the other side. Like I always remind myself that it's also a human being on the other side, and
mm,
as much as they've stated on their screen that this is this is what they can work with, I mean, if I didn't ask, I'd have to probably kill myself to find 50 bag. I mean, I don't even know if I'll sell them. I don't even know if I'll get market. So I just asked, and he said yes. I did sell them, thankfully, all of them. So let's just say your minimum order quantity. You don't really have to follow what's there. Most people, they put that there to scare the guys who can't ask.
Of
Let me tell you,
course.
I've gotten minimum order quantities of 5 pieces, 10 pieces, and they've written 1,000. Because you can negotiate on the chat box, the
Yeah.
seller still wants to make a sale. They still want to make a commission for the company.
Yeah. No, I like
Yeah.
that. Oh, yes, I like that. Let's answer a few questions that the audience has asked. So I can see someone asking, how much is a class? That one I can do $99 and you get 3 sessions. But I want Olive to tell us, over and above the classes, you have a bonus. What else
Yes.
will people get access to by paying that $99? Guys, this class is heavy, heavy value for money. Olive, tell us.
Okay, so firstly, I want to have a Telegram group with everyone who joins us, whereby if you have any questions, if you still encounter problems, if you want one-on-one assistance with me, we'll have that group with everyone. We could be 3, we could be 10, we could be 100, we'll all be there, and we'll be able to help one another do this, because some of us I feel like need that nudge, like they do
Yeah.
pay and then it's like, oh my gosh, this is too much, this is too much. you know Another bonus is because ONR now has a website and all, you'll be able to open your portal or an account on our website, and once the class is over you can review the videos and the PowerPoint slides at your
Nice.
own pace, and it's lifetime access. So I still plan to relaunch this class in the future. So every time I upgrade it, guess what? You still get the upgraded version for the same amount you paid in 2022. So any new information I come by, any new things the government does based on importing, I will always upgrade the slides. And when we relaunch the class sometime in the near future, you can still join it. Another bonus is we were planning to have a weekly, or rather a monthly Zoom session with all our students, so that I just hear how you guys are doing and just create that rapport, because as much as, yes, I'm teaching you guys, I still want to learn more from you and more issues that you guys are going through, so that I also perfect this class for everyone that joins in the future. So yes, that's the bonus thing.
Good. Networking, access to Olive in person, access to the material that you'd have been taught in the class. Someone is asking, give us that quote in Kenya shillings. Stop cutting through the corners. Just tell us in KES, so that if someone needs to pay, please guys, I have pinned the link for you to register for this class on this chat. It's also in my bio. You can go to my profile and find it on my bio. Olive, in Kenya shillings, how much is someone looking to part with?
So the class is 12,599,
Yeah.
but if you visit our YouTube channel, subscribe and watch our latest Alibaba video, there is a coupon code for 15%, but I'm not sharing it because I actually want people to also check out our channel. So once you watch
Yes,
that video, you find the coupon
I
code.
like you. You keep everything revolves around something. Like you really literally get value from everything that it is that you do. Someone was asking, I really wanted to ask
Uh-huh.
a question. Is there something like asking your manufacturer to customize your products? If so, how so? How does it affect cost? And yeah, take us through.
So yes, there is a cost to customization, and I don't want to lie that I've done customization because I haven't, but I know how to find suppliers that do offer customization on any goods, in terms of they sell a particular product, but you want something added. So most of the times, from what I have experienced with all these contact people from Alibaba, it's as easy as just telling them your mind. It's as easy as telling them, I want you to add a zipper, but please do it at the best price possible. And these guys will bend their backs for you. So customization is available for sure. And I'll show you guys how to find those companies that do that so easily.
Okay, okay, I like that. So you said these people, it's possible for them to bend backwards for you. I want to understand red flags with a supplier. I'm doing a really, I'm here, I'm starting off, but then give me red flags. Yeah.
Red flags. I think one of the red flags I experienced early on is one of the suppliers asking me to pay to their personal accounts.
So what's the proper way to
That
pay?
is a big red flag, because on Alibaba, what happens, they have put trade assurance. So trade assurance means that when you make payment for your goods, Alibaba holds that money until when your stuff arrives and you can confirm they're in good quality, and then Alibaba will now release the money back to the supplier. And in case they release it before, let me tell you, that has happened to me, because sometimes shipping companies will delay and delay, and then Alibaba is like, we need to release money, it's past our due time. You still can't go back and communicate and say, I haven't received my goods. Yes, you can make payment, but in case of any issues, I'll reach out. So if you ever find a trader asking you to pay to their personal account, asking you to make payments outside Alibaba, that's a question mark. And I only allow people to do that if honestly you met that supplier in person, you know them. But if you're here in Kenya, unless you have a representative in China, like you have someone who can actually go check their offices and make that payment for you, because obviously it will be slightly cheaper, because you're
Yeah.
not going to be, pay, like Alibaba has to take a cut, but regardless, I'd rather just pay. If I'm here, let me just pay the way I know I should.
Yeah.
That's one red flag. Another red flag I think that I've found is, you see on Alibaba the quota price, and then you reach out and then they tell you that that was a bait price. So a bait price is a price that baits you as the consumer to reach out. Then now they will tell you the real price. And that annoys me, because I'm like, how do I trust you then? Like,
Of course. Of course. Of course. Of
yeah,
course.
yeah. So most of them are legit, but they've stopped using this strategy because they've seen they're actually losing out more. But it's actually something that happens a lot on Alibaba. So it's half price, but in reality, it's not half price. You pay the full
Wow.
price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one more red
Some
flag
of them.
before we go to the next question. Either
Let me
way,
think. Let me
I want to
think.
remind people, register
Yeah.
for this, guys, $99, 12,500 Kenyan shillings. If you subscribe to ONR Africa on YouTube, if you support on YouTube, you'll be able to enjoy a discount. And this is a snippet, guys, and I can feel that we have whet your appetites to learn more, especially if you have the heart and the hustle to take on this for your business. So maybe Olive, you can give us one more red flag, because I have another question for you next that guys have asked as well.
So this red flag is a bit, like, I want to say, on the experience side of Alibaba, but it's still a red flag.
Yeah.
So this is something I'm going to share and teach people who join the class. And most people have an issue with how to import electronics into Kenya, or import high quality metal, in terms of, like, if it's a particular metal, is it the pure version? So most of these companies that ship to Europe have to have a product certification to prove the quality assurance of that particular item. So now some companies are like, okay, you're not going to give me money. Let me just fake my certification so that you use me as your. Let me tell you, the things in this space.
Tell me.
Yeah,
Tell me.
yeah. Imagine. So when you're importing, like, especially things to do with electronics, I usually tell someone you have to confirm if that supplier has the right certifications, highlighting quality assurance, factory. I don't know. There's a lot of things they need to
Yeah,
meet,
would
and
you
most
even
of the time,
get warrant on, like, if you import things like electronics, like from Alibaba, would you be able
yes,
to get
yeah, they do give you warranty, but then unless you're willing to return it and suffer the cost of returning it. Yeah. So most of the times you use the certifications on their website to verify if they really do indeed stay true to the requirements of a certain, let's say, gadget. But now you
Yeah.
can see there are some few companies that try to bend, and, like, I still, let's say, Ivy's company certificate and then brand it with my name. Let me, like, yeah. So there are few to funny things, but nowadays I feel like they've also started realizing that we, as the buyers, have become too smart for them. Like, this is a fake certificate, you know.
Very,
Yeah.
very good. Very good. I like that. So we said lack of certification, don't do that, whatever. So someone is asking, so I want you to answer two
Yeah.
questions. Sorry, if you can hear my babies singing the national anthem, they're having the time of their life. So there's two questions I want you to answer for us. Sampling, sampling. How does sampling work? And then question number two,
Okay.
anybody who's managed to ship in items from abroad, I think the first shocker comes in when you have a price and what it is that you expect to pay, but once it lands here, taxes, shipping costs, even just how long it will take to ship. I know right now we also have a COVID issue that might be affecting how business is happening. So give me the two answers. Talk to me about sampling and talk to me about the shipping process.
Okay, so the sampling basically is you can actually purchase a sample before you get the large bulk products. Again, another telltale sign that you have a bad supplier. They send you the best sample, and then when your products arrive, it's shit. So,
That's so bad.
yeah.
Can you return them, or what happens at that stage? Like, what the hell?
I I guess you can file a complaint with Alibaba. Obviously, it will take a while because you have to prove the sample that you got. It's a whole case they will open for you on the side. I still do believe Alibaba will assist you in getting your refund if you really do fight on. But yes, you can get a sample beforehand so that you know the quality of products you're getting.
Yeah,
Funny enough, I have never done samples. I've always just done the best, like that research that the supplier is going to do a good
it's
job,
good.
and I've never
Yeah,
like, yeah, so I've never had to do samples because I really trust how I research my suppliers, and they've never failed me so far. All of them are doing a good job. Um, and also, just another tip is when you're doing, especially for large sized items, find suppliers that are also working with like Fortune 500 companies, because some of these suppliers work with Walmart, they work with Target, they just put the Walmart branding. So it's those two small pieces of knowledge that will help you just save that whole process. Sample, don't just buy a sample. Yeah, the entire shipping process. And you mentioned about the pricing. Um, the recent government did something for us, and I really want to say thanks, even though, yeah, long story. Before you'd have to, clear it by yourself. I don't know, this whole process, tax and all that. But now
yeah.
shipping agents have become consolidating agents, such that
Okay.
if you were to ship your items with ONR consolidating agent, the price
Yeah.
they give you actually has everything entailed. It has the clearing and forwarding, it has the tax, it has the price of bringing your item into the country. All you need to do is just pay that amount. So it made it actually easier as compared to like 5 years ago or 8 years ago.
And do you pay this when you've ordered the products or when they've landed and they've weighed? And when do you pay this?
Okay, so for example, I'm bringing in a ship through air, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's, let's say, 5 kgs, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Once it reaches, when you're in China, right, tell the supplier in China to drop your goods to a shipping agent. Now that shipping agent, let's say the Just ID Africa shipping agent company, he has to have an office both in China and in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
So when your 5 kg goods will be dropped, you give your supplier the agent's Chinese address. So they will drop it there. And then once it arrives in Kenya, I get called, Olive, your goods have arrived. They were 5 kgs. So now
Yeah.
there's a standard, almost standard pricing for all goods that come with sea or come with air. So you're going to notice that most of these shipping agents or consolidating agents will charge you about $13 per kg, $14 per kg, $15 per kg, but it's become standardized. So when you're paying for your 5 kgs, you'll be charged that standardized amount, and that amount includes taxes, includes clearing and forwarding, includes travel. Let me not lie to you, they actually made it easier for us to bring in items.
That's good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Taxes. You said the same taxes are consolidated with that consolidating agent. Do you know the percentage of
Yeah.
taxes you pay based on the goods that you are bringing in? Do you know how much it would cost someone? Give us a rough figure. Guys, remember, this is a snippet. I can see all your questions coming. Don't try and get information for free. Olive has a fantastic 3-day course that she has put together, 28th, 30th of December and of November and the 2nd of December.
Second.
Going to take her time to take you guys piece by piece, punch by punch, line by line on how it is to import goods from Alibaba. Olive, finish up on the taxes. How would I know how much I'm going to be able to? Yeah, yeah.
Now, let me tell you, I'm still fighting with my supplier to tell me the exact, and I don't know if it's a secret thing. Yeah, they really don't want to share with you that information because it also makes them tell you the profits they're making. I am still trying to get that answer and I will get it soon. So most of the times I just vary the pricing based on the shipping agents that I work with and I go for the best because depending on the dollar, that's another
Yeah.
thing people need to know. Shipping is
Yeah.
based on the dollar. So the dollar is
It's
doing
based
well.
on the dollar. Once again,
Yeah.
let me just mute it.
So I'm seeing here there are suppliers that tell you to pay. Koi Natural is asking the suppliers that tell you to pay a fee for them to drop your luggage to the shipping agent. Why? Actually, that's a normal thing to happen. I was answering a question here.
Yeah. Good.
Koi Natural is asking the suppliers that tell you to pay a fee for them to drop your luggage to the shipping agent. Why? That's a normal cost. And I can give you guys an example of Kenya. Like I told you guys, China is divided into districts. There's Guangzhou, there's Hiwu, there's a lot of districts. So if my warehouse, for example, is at Guangzhou and my supplier is in another district, who is going to cater for that transport cost? It's just
Exactly.
like the way, yeah, if you're going to take things to the Mombasa port and
Yeah.
I'm the one who is selling to you and I'm in Nairobi, I have to foot the travel cost to Mombasa. So yeah, they will actually charge you to drop your luggage to the shipping agent. Again, guys, negotiate. Let me tell you, I have negotiated that cost to $2. I have negotiated my way. So because as a business, you're trying to, all these costs are going to still be, calculated to the final price. So if they tell you, oh, we are only willing to do this amount, this price, just tell them, is there a better day for me to get my items taken with other people, or is there a better price, or is there a better time? Most of the time, they will still cut that price for you. So yeah.
Okay, I like that you're answering questions. There's someone who's just asked, how do you get to sell your shipped goods on VAT if you don't have custom duty and they don't give such information? How do you deal with purchase duty?
I want to actually understand that as well because I don't know. I actually don't know that, and I'm going to talk to my people right now and ask them that similar question. So actually, let me write that question down because I mean
Down.
we have
Let's take a
a week to
screenshot.
the plan. Wait. How do you
It disappeared.
get sell? If you don't have custom duty and they don't give such information, how do you deal with purchase duty? I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask that. I'm gonna
thank
ask
you.
that.
You.
Mm.
Yeah. And I suggest it's Mutindi, join the class and get the answer beautifully
Yeah.
because I'm not sure if we able to answer that as well. Let me see if anybody else has questions that we might need answered before we move on. Let me just go to the question box. All right, I think most questions have been put in the comments section. Okay, I think you've answered that as well. All right. Did you tell us how long shipping takes, by the way?
3 to 4 weeks if it's sea. If it's air, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So that
if it's
gives
air, 2 to 3
people
weeks.
a
If
nice
it's sea,
position
2
to be
to
able
4 weeks.
to plan. Um, so I think you've actually answered all my questions. I wanted to ask you why Alibaba. I think even just based on the fact that you said I like the processes that they've taken and the systems they put into place to identify good suppliers for the platform. I like that there's no language barrier. But if not Alibaba, what other platform would people look at? I know even your masterclass is going to touch on Alibaba, but what other platform would people look at? Or would you even recommend that they don't look at another platform because Alibaba is so good?
Okay, so what I know from seasoned importers, right? They've started to use the local Alibabas of China because Alibaba was designed to be the global marketplace. And actually, fun fact, Alibaba doesn't just ship from China. They
Yeah.
actually do, I don't know, Bangkok, they also do Turkey, they do actually a lot of other countries.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice,
So
nice.
if you're really good at just understanding that platform and using it to your best of your abilities, please realize it's just not for China. There's a whole list of countries that they do ship from as well. About the other platforms, I know about them. I've heard about them. Have I used them? No. Why? Because I'm very cautious and I'm very risk averse to losing
And
my
why change
money.
success? Yeah, if Alibaba has worked for you successfully, I always tell people, why change your success? Why do you want to move from something that's working so well to try something new and start from the bottom?
Yeah.
I sometimes I'm like, maybe keep your success. Okay, noted. Okay,
Yeah. So
okay,
I'm
cool.
I'm an Alibaba girl.
You're an Alibaba girl. Okay, someone is
Yeah.
asking payment methods, please. How do you pay for these goods? What are the most popular payment methods, or what are the payment methods that you would recommend?
So when you're paying for goods, right, in China, your customer service agent person talking to you will send you a payment order. I've
Yeah,
forgotten the name, but there's a payment order. And I usually say there are two ways. One way, I will share it in the class because it's my preferred
good,
way. And then
good.
my other way is just use your normal debit or credit card. So
Yeah,
if you have your normal card for whatever bank that you have, the bank will just deduct it based on the dollar rate they use. So if let's say they tell you your total shipment is $1,300, ensure you have that kind of money in Kenya shillings in your account, but just take note of the dollar to Kenya shillings exchange. But then
yeah,
again, the more you become a seasoned importer, the more you realize, well, I need to get better ways of paying that amount according
yeah,
to the dollar rate that I prefer. So yeah,
yeah.
I'll share the other method in class.
Good, guys. A reminder, there's a link right here that's been pinned to the comments for this live. There's a link in my bio that will take you to registration for this class, where Olive will be able to give you more in-depth secrets when it comes to importing from Alibaba. Someone is asking, Olive, are there goods that still need KEBS clearance?
Wow. Hey, guys, KEBS clearance. I've always been told by my supplier that they do that clearance. Maybe, I mean, my shipping agent, maybe
Yeah,
I think I need to sit him down or like partner with him because I'm planning to do a
or involve
revise.
the agent in the class as well.
Yeah,
Maybe for an hour or 2 hours, just where we can understand shipping entirely and all these things. I think that would be pretty valuable for us.
yeah. It's actually
Yeah,
something that I need to do because some of these questions I've always just relied on him to do the work, but I'm like, yeah, I feel like we need to learn. We need to learn all these things. So
yeah,
I might not be able to get them on board for this launch, but because this class is something that I plan to revise, improve, and perfect,
yeah.
once it's relaunched, I'm definitely going to do like this whole session as part of the class as well. So yeah, yeah, I will work on it. But because I'll give you guys their contacts in the class, so I'll give you guys
Yeah.
the contacts of all my
Okay.
agents.
Okay.
Yeah, they can
Okay.
easily just be like,
Uh,
hi.
this class is going to be awesome. I can see Sylvia asking, do you use PayPal? Sylvia, Oliver said, if you want to understand the second method of payment, you have to join the class. You have to join the class.
Yeah.
Like, wait, she's trying to be cunning. I'm happy with that, Sylvia. Olive, I want you to just give a summary in terms of what it is, especially maybe three key things that you believe people will absolutely benefit from the class, especially the curriculum. And this is in particularly too, because guys, when you go to her website, to her YouTube channel, she has done a video on this. So Olive, what is it that you will cover in the class that has not been covered in the video, so that we can encourage guys to join in?
What has been covered in the class that has not been covered in the video? Oh my gosh, a lot. I feel
A
like I should have
lot.
opened my slides and then like
Yeah,
go telling you the
yeah.
topics.
Yeah, how about
But
top things, especially like stemming from mistakes that you've seen people make, other than, of course, not understanding what it is that they want to ship in, not doing their due diligence when it comes to their suppliers, moving too quick, not understanding when something is too good to be true. What will you cover so that we can encourage people to just join the class?
I think for me, what I want to make this class about is I really want people to know how easy it is to actually start a viable business through this process. And I mean it with the most kind, humble words. I have friends who started importing jewelry and
Yeah,
make thousands of dollars a month just because they streamlined this process. They were able to create businesses and also quickly realizing that as much as you will have this information, again, don't forget the heart and the hustle to sell.
Yeah.
So I want to help you get good quality goods at a really good price. And even in the event that you do get, let's say, a first batch and you realize this is not for me, you
Yeah.
have the knowledge and the skill set to go back and even like import like a whole new list of things based on the information I've shared. And I'm also appreciative to learn that there are people who signed up to my class not because they want to start businesses, but they want to buy decor for their homes, they want
Yeah.
furniture for their houses.
Yeah.
And I have a lot that is like, I don't want to start a business. I'm good. I just want to decorate my home at the best price possible, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, guys, like, there are just a lot of secrets, and I just want to share them all with you and then get new questions, perfect this class, and let it just be that hub for. And anyway, if it wasn't for this class, I don't think I would have known A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah. Good. And
Yeah.
I said, this is class 1, or is it 2? Class 1, the first session. Yeah, you're going to keep
Yeah,
improving,
yeah.
perfecting, and then you can take us on the journey a little bit later. Olive, I want. How can one register for the class? I'll repeat. There's a link in my bio. There's a link that was pinned. There's a comment that was pinned on this slide that also has the link, and then you can register from there. The class is going to cost you $99 or the equivalent of 12,500 Kenya shillings. And so that's the cost, but the value, I think I can't even put a figure on the value that you'll be able to get. And I'm saying this with as much passion as possible because I have met and interacted with Olive in person, and Olive, you are a brilliant woman. I cannot wait to see what happens. Congratulations on landing a spot under the YouTube Creator Black for the year 2023. If brands like YouTube and Google are investing in you, who are we? Let us see. Let us see what Olive has to offer. So guys, register for that class. I'm not begging you to register for a class. Me, I'm going for that class because I want to learn something new. And I think international trade is going to be epic. Olive, I want to say a big, big thank you for joining us live today. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your brain. Thank you for giving us secrets for free, even if we know we're going to get a few a bit later. And I want to thank Movers for joining. Guys, as usual, Olive, my coffee for Olive. Knowledgeable.
Can I say something?
Of course, tell me.
If you are already ready to purchase, Ivy, you can tell them about our website, onrafrica.com. I mean, just Ivy needs to have her website. It'll be just Ivy Africa, ONR Africa. Yeah, so I wish Paulina could visit onrafrica.com, and then you will see the Alibaba Masterclass has its own like segment. She can also pin that because the Google form just helps me track everyone who's interested, everyone who's come from Ivy, which is a lot of you, if I'm being honest. And I'm really, really grateful. But if you're already ready to purchase, then you don't need to or you can fill the form, just visit our website. Go to Alibaba Masterclass and then, just follow through, and you can DM me after, and then I'll be like, hi, I can't wait to meet you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Olive, I want to wish you a good night. Let me take the babies to bed. It's bedtime, and it's going to be epic. I can't wait to see you in class on the 28th.
Yes. I can't wait to see you too. Thank you, Ivy. First of all, let me just take this time and say thank you so much, Ivy. Like, we have met, we have bonded, we have talked. You have inspired me. I have inspired you. We have conversed, and I'm really grateful that you even felt like I could offer something for your movers. And for me, that's a lot. That's really a lot. So I'm really appreciative of you as well, and appreciative of my fellow movers because I'm a mover too.